So I came across a video about how the mayor of New York City is saying, okay, I need to go sue. We need to go sue the TikToks, Instagrams, YouTubes, and the whole host of other social media platforms because it is ruining people's mental health, specifically the youth. I have a small clip that I want to play first, and then we're going to get into it.
Seeing just how addictive and overwhelming the online world can be, exposing children to content they are not ready for, disrupting the educational process, and seriously damaging their self-esteem and well-being. Our most recent data found that young people in New York City are experiencing anxiety, hopelessness.
Okay, so as you all have seen, he is mentioning how over the past decade, the social medias, the whole host of them, different platforms, have become addictive. Okay, you have a lot of people youth who are going on there constantly. It is disrupting their educational process and their overall well-being. Okay, it's just an overall degradation of everything. He said that a lot of people are feeling hopeless with everything, and this is the main problem. I like how he focuses in on this social media being the main issue instead of why people are going towards it and what we can do about the other resources that people can be utilizing. It's just, yeah, we just got to get people off of social media, y'all. I mean, we just got to get them off of social media. And it's like, okay, but where are they going to go when they get off of social media? And what is causing a lot of this? So one thing I found to be interesting, first and foremost, is how, and I, seen an article here and there, but one that says TikTok's Manhattan lease ends the railroad cold spell. The parent company of popular video sharing app TikTok has signed a 10-year, and this article is from 2020, 10-year lease for 232,000 square feet Manhattan Times Square place. Okay, marking the first major office lease in the borough since the railroad pandemic has happened. So I find it interesting that we're having a 10-year mega lease that's going on, but then it's like, but this stuff is destroyed. It seems a little hypocritical to me, but that's something that I find to be interesting. Another thing that actually really bothers me with all this is the fact that you're saying, or he's saying, okay, well, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have social media, and the youth. And it's like, well, part of that goes into parenting, screen time, limiting screen time. Also, it's the education system. You could look at that as well. Because I know for me, when I was in school, there was no laptops that you could have or anything like that. You had your own laptop, because you had to go and type out papers and stuff. But they didn't provide laptops. Now they're giving laptops, they're giving tablets, and a whole host of other things as well. Something that I find to be interesting is the attention that's going towards these social media platforms and not the overall stabilizing of the community. Okay. Well, Alex, what do you mean? Well, one, affordable housing. Okay. You have people who are having to work 2-3 jobs now instead of the one job that your OGs had to work. Now it's 2 to 3 jobs. You have to go back and forth. You just don't have time to really bond and be with your kid in that way. That's also a reason why people use the tablets, the computers, all these little, the phone, telephones, and all that kind of stuff. They use all this stuff as a babysitter. Now, some is just straight up bad parenting. But another thing is the fact that I don't have time to deal with you. As unfortunate as it just is what it is. I just simply do not have time to deal with you right now because I'm so tired. Got off my second job and I don't know what to do. I may have a side business. I may have a side hustle over here that I have to try to, let me see if I can make an extra $200 a week doing my side business on top of my main job. So I'm pooped. I don't think I can even deal with this right now. That's the problem. Okay. Another thing is we have a lack there of, one, you have schools that have closed. and not reopen, and this is not just specific to New York, I'm talking about other places, Chicago being one. But you have schools that have closed, you have community centers that have closed as well, and they're being housed, they're being used to house migrants and stuff like that. But wouldn't you think that people would have a better outlook on life if they had, let's say, I don't know, a nice community center? I call them field houses. That's what we have, where you go and play your tennis, your basketball, your volleyball, that kind of stuff. You could do after school programs and whatnot. You could do art, painting, go to the pool, let's have a cooking class, let's learn about finances, budgeting, college/trade readiness programs, learn how to clean, learn how to, fix, change a tire, fix something. Wouldn't it make sense to have more of this? You have your school system that's already there, which it needs an upgrade, okay? Anyways, but then let's have a community center. But no. TikTok, that's the problem. It's not the fact that we don't have other resources, additional resources outside of that. It's just TikTok. That's the problem, y'all. TikTok and the social medias, the kids got to get off of it. Okay, well, they get off of it. What happens now? Well, we don't have any other after school activities or programs or anything. So just don't be on it. That's such a base level thing. And it's like, well, what's under that? We're not worried about the educational infrastructure. We're not worried about the kind of stuff that these people are learning, that these children are learning in here. Do we even really care that much? I remember you would have libraries, for example, that would have like these after school kind of reading groups. Do they even do that anymore? I know we have a whole bunch of book banning and all this other stuff that's going on, but what about the additional funding for those kind of programs? We're just gonna skip over that. No, what's destroying people is not the, or maybe it's the lack thereof of resources as well. That's also something that I've noticed. It's just a whole host of other things that we could be worried about that I just don't see him worrying about. Okay. You look at these people, you look at yourself, and you're like, this is what's destroying people. People need to just stop doing this, stop doing that. And it's like, well, maybe we need to go and look at the bigger picture. That's just like kind of like an afterthought of the main story. Why are people so addicted to this, as you say? Well, it's because, the parents are monitoring it, which I agree with. But at the end of the day, yes, people are not monitoring, the parents are not monitoring it as much as they should. But we also have a school system that is saying, okay, y'all going to be on your tablets, you're going to be on your phones, and you got to look all this stuff up constantly. Hey, we got an online book and all this other stuff that's on there. I've seen it. I'm like, they got tablets now? Y'all got laptops? What? Don't you think maybe that's pushing people towards that as well? No, we don't think that. You're giving people access to be on the computer, to do any and everything else. Maybe that needs to be reformed a bit. Maybe also lowering the cost of housing would help greatly a lot of individuals who are living over there. Why? So people can have more time, so they're not having to hustle. I got my side gig over here making $100 a week. Got my other side gig over here making $150 a week. Oh, I got my job over here, my main job, but then I got a part-time job, for another 10 hours a week. Don't you think maybe all this? No, we don't think that helping people out so that they don't have to keep grinding and giving them an electronic babysitter would be a solution. But those are my thoughts on that.